We continue following developments with the Google executive Wael Ghonim, who was detained in Egypt last week. And joining us on the phone from Cairo is billionaire businessman Naguib Sawiris. Mr. Sawiris, you've said Google's Ghonim will become a living hero of the Egyptian revolution. We tried to start this conversation just a moment ago, but I have the same question for you. Until really this morning or last night, this is not a name that, in terms of just general media coverage, that we've been hearing very much. But people in Egypt well aware of him. How much pressure was placed upon the government there for his release?
No, there was not much pressure. There was just requests. I'm one of the people who have been requesting that for the last 72 hours. I was telling the government that if you need to show that you are serious in providing the basic rights of to the Egyptians, and that is the right to speak. If you keep on arresting these young people in the square, then you are telling them you are not allowing for a dialogue, because either you can confer and negotiate with them or you can arrest them, but you cannot do both. I think with his release, the government has shown that they are sincere about providing the Egyptians with their basic rights.
Do we know why he was arrested? What were the charges, and on what grounds was he taken?
No. There was no. Wael has done nothing to be arrested for, except for being a real revolutionist who has been blogging and calling for the young people of Egypt to go out and demonstrate and request their rights. So I have no doubt here there was no cause for his arrest.
Mr. Sawiris, you say that he will end up being a hero. History will look back on this moment, and he will emerge as a hero. What specifically was he doing that will have been that made him sort of a pivotal person in this revolution?
He was very involved with the covering of the story of Khalid Said through the internet. Khalid Said was a young boy who was beaten to death by two security forces in Alexandria, and this has been a source of upheaval in Alexandria. Many people were upset about that, so he made the world aware of that crime. Secondly, he was quite involved into inviting the youth to the Tahrir Square on January 25's movement to ensure the restoration of their democratic rights.
Mr. Sawiris, anyone else at the moment that is being held that would have been responsible? I mean, we do know that he was the head of marketing for the Middle East and North Africa for Google. I'm speaking about Wael Ghonim here. But there are many others that are involved in social media in Egypt. Do you know of anyone else that is currently being held by the police?
Personally, no, but I've received some news that the government is releasing a lot of people. Because, as I said, they need to show good faith that they are keen to provide the Egyptian people finally with their basic rights, and this is the freedom of speech.
Mr. Sawiris, one last question here. You know, we have been watching this since this news broke out about 2 weeks ago. How does it feel there in Cairo today? Certainly, it seemed quite a dangerous situation last Friday when we were looking at live shots throughout our hour. But it feels as if it's slightly calmer today. Is that true?
It is true. I mean, we have started, all the Orascom companies today have started work again. All our employees were back to the office. The streets of Cairo today and the traffic was congested and normal. The shops are opening, banks are opening. So there is a normality coming back. Not in full, I would say 60%. But every day that passes, normality is coming back. But the square is still there and the guys are still there because there is a big confusion, and that is their demands are very high, and the government is only willing to accommodate some of them. The people of Egypt are split. Some are for Mr. Mubarak to stay and leave at the end of his mandate to ensure that there is a peaceful power transmission. The young people are requesting him to leave. Not everybody is in agreement with their demands.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Sawiris. Please stay safe, and we appreciate you making the time to join us from Cairo live. That was Naguib Sawiris, the head of Orascom, Egypt's largest publicly traded company, speaking to us about the release of Google executive Wael Ghonim.